You want me to put that on my todger?
Harry's wife. Hello! Talk about me. Me. Harry's wife. Always been thirsty for fuel once she became a narcissist. That meant that she always has to provoke some kind of reaction from the people that are around her. Whether it might be affection, flattery, oohs and ahs as she gets down on her knees and doles out some spicy poontang, whether it's tears, whether it's hatred, whatever it might be, she needs a reaction. She needs to be noticed. She needs to be acknowledged. Like any narcissist, she needs fuel. And if you want to understand the lifeblood of the narcissist, you really ought to read my book, Fuel. It will enable you to understand so much about the world around you by understanding why narcissists crave fuel and how they get it. You can find that on Amazon or in the Knowledge Vault, link in the video description. Thus for Harry's wife, she needs this fuel alongside the control that she must assert. And one of the ways that she does this, in fact, probably one of the largest forms of modus operandi that she functions with, is the use of the PR puff piece, enabling us to be treated to the minutiae and banalities of her life, being exposed to the trivia of what she does, but displayed and discussed in a breathy manner as if she was the first person ever in the history of ever to do these things. What has she actually achieved in her life? She was an actress, and she met and married a ginger prince. Beyond that, has she really inspired anybody? No. Has she written anything brilliant? No. Has she given a speech which has caused people to change their lives? No. While she might like to think that she's on a par with I Have a Dream and Mr. Gorbachev, Tear Down That Wall, in fact, she's just a member of the Beige Club, coming out with her fridge magnet platitudes. But she believes we all need to know about this. And that kind of behaviour is symptomatic of not only narcissists, but an increasingly narcissistic world. Social media has been with us for quite some time now, pushing towards a couple of decades. Originally, it was social networking, the idea being that it was a means of keeping in touch with people that you already knew. So you'd formed a relationship, a friendship, in the ordinary way. It had grown organically. You knew about this person. And then there was an electronic means of keeping in touch with them, particularly useful, perhaps where that friend or former colleague was somewhere else in the world. But then that social networking became social media. And with it, it created this concept that no marks and beigeness individuals suddenly believed that what their life was ought to be shared with the rest of us. Hence the proliferation of extremely tedious photographs of people's breakfast, lunches and dinners. Why on earth those individuals think that anybody's interested in what that person is eating? Well, it comes down to two things. Some are narcissists who believe that their every living move must be recorded, regurgitated and commented upon, and others are those affected by the herd mentality who see other people doing it, and lacking any real substance and brain cells, they just mimic and copy. Not like a narcissist, but simply because they go, "Ooh, yes, that looks like a good idea." These are the individuals that also follow those narcissists who believe that they've got something meaningful to say when they haven't, that they've got some fantastic piece of footage that has to be shared with the rest of the world when they haven't. Those individuals believe that it's important for them to tell all of us what they've been doing, when actually it's mundane and uninteresting. And Harry's wife falls within that category. There are undoubtedly many people who do things which are fascinating, intriguing, unique and interesting, which ought to be shared. Harry's wife doesn't fall within that category, but she thinks that she does. And therefore it is through organs such as hello we're treated to such bilge as this. Written by Danielle Stacey, once again, she states the Duke of Sussex will be flying over from the United States for his father King Charles' coronation, and did so on Saturday 6th of May, and that it coincided with his son Prince Archie's 4th birthday. But she then explains, this month also holds a whole host of celebrations for the Sussexes, starting with US Mother's Day on the 14th of May. So Harry's wife is hijacking something which takes place for all mothers in the United States, but has to make it all about her, believing that it's something special. Of course, she utilises that for the purposes of facade management. Look at me, I'm a brilliant mother. And Hello reminds us, because of course we didn't know this, that she became a mother with the birth of Archie on the 6th of May 2019, followed by the arrival of Lilibet on the 4th of June 2021. Just in case you'd happened to have forgotten that. We are then told that 2 days after this event of US Mother's Day, such a desperate attempt to stay in the news, she's then expected to receive her award from activist and journalist Gloria Steinem at Ms. Foundation's Women in Vision Gala. The gala takes place at New York's Ziegfeld Ballroom on the 16th of May, where the foundation will also celebrate its 50th anniversary. A meaningless award for a meaningless person, which will no doubt mean that there'll be a meaningless appearance, but of course, it'll be necessary for us to comment upon this for once again demonstrating her narcissism in action. In a biography on the Ms. Foundation's website, Harry's wife is described, hilariously, as a feminist champion of human rights and gender equity and global role model, clearly written by herself. It adds, her lifelong advocacy for women and girls, really, remains a constant thread she weaves through both humanitarian and business ventures by ensuring that she finds men that she can leech off and further her interests through. But there's more in terms of ensuring that you have to talk about Harry's wife, as we're told that she'll also pick up her Gracie Award for her Arse Wipes podcast on the 23rd of May. The Gracie Awards are presented by the Alliance of Women in Media Foundation, who've clearly lost all credibility in offering this award, to celebrate programming that was created by women for women. Well, they seem to have misunderstood. This was programming created by Harry's wife for Harry's wife. The Duchess was named by herself as the best podcast host for her series. Now, in all seriousness, to suggest that she was the best podcast host when all she did was talk about herself is an absolute insult. Other people did the interviewing, and all she did was go through her tick list of things that people have called me in the past that I need to correct, which apparently the series aimed to dissect, explore and subvert the labels that try to hold women back, or rather, that try to hold her back, over the course of 12 tedious, mind-numbing episodes. Following the news, Harry's wife said, "Thank you to the Alliance for Women in Media Foundation for this prestigious honour. This is a shared success for me and the team behind Archetypes, most of whom are women, and the inspiring guests who joined me each week." May also holds a personal celebration for the Sussexes, as Harry and Harry's wife will mark their 5th wedding anniversary, because nobody else has ever had a wedding anniversary apart from these two. And, again, we're told that the couple tied the knot at St George's Chapel in Windsor in 2018, again, just in case we'd all forgotten it, with members of the royal family and high-profile guests in attendance. We're then invited to check out unseen photographs from their royal wedding. No, I won't bother. We're then told that the groom wore the frock coat uniform of the Blues and Royals, while the bride looked beautiful in a wedding dress designed by Claire Waite Keller of Givenchy. The late Queen also loaned Harry's wife Queen Mary's diamond bandeau tiara, following a hissy fit by Harry's wife about wanting a different tiara. Once again, a shitty PR puff piece. Once again, foreshadowing events which are utterly pointless and meaningless. US Mother's Day. Not the preserve of Harry's wife, but you think it was by the way she goes on. The receipt of 2 awards, which are an absolute travesty to award giving. And then finally, a wedding anniversary, which hundreds of millions of people around the planet have. But of course, because it's Harry's wife, we all have to know about it. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.